Next up is Ed Bless, representing the solar industry from Blueline Power.
So I wanted just a little bit on my background. I've spent decades in the Silicon Valley and high-tech arena, and got up into management in that arena, and then in 2001 started a renewable energy company, Blueline Power. But mainly right now what I wanted to do is kind of just set the stage for something that deals with our economy. And anybody in here feeling the pinch of at the gas pump? And then the question is, well, okay, Ed, what does that have to do with, you know, solar electric or renewables, whether it be wind or whatnot? So I'm going to give you some real hardcore numbers here. These are the numbers that I firmly believe are impacting our economy, and it's going to make it worse. There's nothing really in place right now that I can see, or that anybody I talk to that says something's going to pull our economy out. What we need to do, and I'm going to say this right directly, what we need to do is we need to make a real paradigm shift in the way we live our lives. Okay, if we do that, the United States has the opportunity to become the most prosperous country in the entire world, bar none. And here's the issue. We currently import 11 million barrels of crude oil a day. And that amounts to 4 billion barrels a year. That 4 billion barrels translates into $500 billion of cash flow that leaves the United States every year. If we do that for 10 years and the price of oil doesn't go up, and it stays at $4.50, and oh, by the way, the price of oil since 2003 has gone up 22% of the year on the average. In 2003, the price of gas was $1.70. Today we're paying $4.50, and if we extrapolate that out, in the year 2015 we'll be paying $17.60 a gallon. Okay, so now the average American family ends up with $3,000 of discretionary income at the end of the year. That's the average American family. So when you start looking at some of these, you can see what's going on with our economy. For 10 years, with just the money that leaves our country to pay for imported oil, in 10 years we will spend $5 trillion, which is more than five times the cost of the war in Iraq. So $5 trillion. The United States cannot afford to take $5 trillion and send it overseas. We can't afford to do it. So that also that amount per year equates to almost 9 million jobs for Americans. 9 million jobs would overemploy the entire United States. If somehow we could take this money and convert it back, take it, not send it overseas, and keep it here. And here's how we can do it. It costs $36,000 for a PV system that would charge an electric car. This year is a banner year for the battery industry and what's going to happen in the electric car market. This is the first year when 3 major companies have released the lithium-ion batteries in the large format, and also the lithium titanate battery, which will increase the range of an electric vehicle more than 50%. The RAV4, Toyota RAV4 electric vehicle in 1993 had a range of 100 miles. It's a wonderful vehicle. If you would try to buy one today, you're going to pay a fortune for it. But anyway, we're going to see, with the new hybrids that are coming out, we're going to see more of an emphasis going towards the electric vehicle. The Toyota Prius and the hybrids begin to set the stage for that. The cost to plug in an electric vehicle into the grid is the equivalent of about 70 cents a gallon if you buy electricity rather than buy gasoline. So going back to that number that says $36,000 for the cost of a PV system, well, if you commute 100 miles a day, and a lot of people do in Silicon Valley with all the bedroom communities that have grown up in Tracy and Livermore and all that commuting that goes on, 100 miles a day is not uncommon. And the cost of that at $4.50 a gallon is right around $5,000 a year. Well, $5,000 a year over 10 years is $50,000. So now, if you purchase an electric vehicle and you purchase a PV system to run that electric vehicle, the cost of fuel for the car is zero. And the amount of fuel that we need to import for that electric car is zero. And the money that goes into the infrastructure goes into the United States economy, and that also increases the amount of jobs that we have here. So anyway, this is the problem that with our economy, but this also represents a solution. And I think, and I hope that members in this body will take a strong look at what can happen with plug-in hybrids and electric vehicles and solar electric systems.
Great, thanks Ed. Oops.